Yes, dear students, in this video we will talk about the class Amphibia, which is the subgroup of superclass Tetrapoda. Earlier we talked about the subgroups, the two classes of superclass species, that was Chondrochthes and Osteochthes, which include the true fishes. When we talk about the term Amphibia, the amphibia term come from amphi means both, and bio means life. The organisms which have dual life means they can live on the in the aquatic habitat as well as on the terrestrial habitat. Now, in most of the members, aquatic habitat is essential to complete their life cycle, because most of them lay their egg in the water. Their egg are without cell, so they, if laid on the dry environment, they may desiccate, so they have to lay their egg in the water. So most of the organisms required water to complete their life cycle. So here, like example given is frog, Rana tigrina. It have dual habitat. Adult can live on the land, but to lay the egg they need water or aquatic habitat. Fertilization takes place in the water. Larval stages undergo metamorphosis, undergo development in the water only. Now these are the first land vertebrates. It is assumed that they evolved in the Devonian time, Devonian era. During that time, they were the first animal who came out from the water and they started living on the land. They have presence of limbs in place of fins. Fins can be seen in their larva, like in case of frog, tadpole larvae have presence of fins. Their body is divided into head and trunk only. Neck is not well distinct. There may be presence of tail. Tail may be well distinct or may be rudimentary or even may not present. Next thing we have to remember, if we talk about, like we know in case of fish there is presence of true scales, but in case of amphibians there is absence of scales. Their skin is smooth and moist, and they may have glands, and these glands secrete mucus, so their skin remains slimy, which help in exchange of gases, respiration. In other words, we can say they do not have any exoskeleton or there is no presence of scales. Two pair of limbs, if you observe the diagram, you will find four limbs. Front limbs are smaller and underdeveloped, then hind limbs. Hind limbs have webbed feet, means the in between digits there is presence of skin. So when skin is present between the digits, we use word webbed feet, and these webbed feet help them to swim in the water. In case of salamandra given here, both the pair of limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs, both are equal in size, but in case of frog we can see hind limbs are more strong, larger, and they have webbed, means presence of membrane like skin between digits, digitate feet they have. Now they also have eyes present on the head, and very interesting point to note here, like in our eyes there is presence of a nictitating membrane, but this is vestigial, but here they have movable eyelids as well as presence of nictitating membrane which help them to survive in the aquatic habitat. Nostrils are present just behind the eyes. Nostrils help in perceiving odor, also help in respiration from directly from the air. Their mouth is very large, opening of mouth is very large, and mouth have tongue. The tongue help in predation. So all of you must have seen the frog have tongue, and this tongue rapidly come out from the mouth and it help in predation. Beside that, on the head, tongue is quite sticky, so that help in capturing the flying insect even. And that tongue can be rapidly folded inside and can be thrown out from the mouth. So this is generally sought out from the mouth and fold in inside the mouth during predation. They have presence of tympanum. So tympanum help the amphibians to hear. Even they help to sense the vibration, and their ears are also fluid filled, so they don't have pinna. As we know, pinna is present only in the mammals, but they have internal ears, tympanum. All of us know these are also cold blooded or poikilotherms. They undergo hibernation in the winter because they cannot regulate their body temperature. Their body temperature fluctuate with the ambient temperature or surrounding temperature. They cannot regulate the temperature like us. They have three-chambered heart. When we talk about three-chambered heart, there are presence of two auricles and one ventricle. Two upper chambers are present and one ventricle, that is the lower chamber, which help in pumping of blood. They cannot separate oxygenated blood from the deoxygenated blood. This remain mixed. They have oval discoid RBC, blood is red in color, hemoglobin is present, which help in which act as respiratory pigment. Right. Now, respiration in tadpole larva or in larval stage, respiration may be by the gill. Respiration may take place through the skin also, that is cutaneous respiration. There is also pulmonary respiration. And if we talk about the way of exchange of gases in adult and in the larva, it is different. In larva, exchange of gases is carried out by the gills. They are more similar to the species as they have presence of fins. If we talk about their even food habit, larva feed on the grass, but adult feed on the insect. Larva resembles more with the fish. They have presence of fins. Limbs appear later on during metamorphosis. So this indicates that amphibians evolved from the species only, or particularly it is assumed that they evolved from the lobe fins, which first came on the earth, means on the land. So there is a great diversity in way of doing the exchange of gases. The moist skin definitely help them to carry out the exchange of gases. Cutaneous word we use when the respiration takes place through the skin, and when it takes place through the mouth cavity, that is we use buccal respiration or buccal respiration. And pulmonary word we use when we include the lungs. Pulmonary word is used for the lungs. Very important thing, they may show both hibernation and estivation, which is the behavioral adaptation which help them to survive in extreme conditions. Extreme condition like in winter, we will not see any of the presence of frog in our surrounding because they all undergo hibernation. They cannot tolerate the low temperature. Similarly, in summer they come out only in the night. They remain active in the night. They are nocturnal only, and they temporarily undergo the earth crust or burrow to protect themselves from high temperature also. Sexes are separate. They lay egg in the water only. Most of the members, some of them may lay egg on the land also. They may be completely terrestrial also. Okay, but when they lay the egg, they lay in the humid or moist environment, so that protect their egg from desiccation because they don't have calcareous cell present on their eggs. Fertilization is external, means the gametes from male and female are released in the water. Egg are laid in cluster. There is no copulatory organs, but pseudo copulation takes place. Eggs are protected inside the slimy cover layers, slime, and these are fertilized in water only, but there is a huge germ loss, means many of the egg are predated by some predators. Development is indirect, means larval stages are present. Larva of frog is called tadpole larva, so they are oviparous. Development is indirect. Indirect means larval stages are present. Direct means when there is no larval stages. Broadly, this group is classified into three orders.